talk about the Steel Path Orowyrm again. Is it worth doing? I have a general rule for these two, the Orowyrm Bounty, normal and Steel Path. The thing is, if you can complete the Steel Path one below 20 minutes, it is worth. But if you can do it or not, I think it is a gigantic if. Because it depends on the frames and the weapons that you're gonna get. If you don't really have a good loadout there, it is completely not worth. You're gonna take too much time if you get a bad game mode on the Undercraft, and if you don't have anything to buff your damage when you get to the Orowyrm, it's gonna get even worse. You're gonna spend a ridiculous amount of time instead of spending anything from 16 to 20 minutes. You're gonna be there for 25-30 minutes, and that's where the value goes down. If you can complete it under 20 minutes, I think it's completely fine. It is, in a way, 5 battle clamps extra. It is 5 steel essence, which is really, well, it's at least something, but it should be a lot more. But what are we gonna say, right? Can't change anything. But yeah, I think I might have to try more the normal mode and see how low can I get it to go. But I think one of the most important things, it doesn't really matter if you're going in normal or Steel Path, is to have a good frame, a frame that can clear the your mission types without a problem. Especially Exterminate and Defense. I think those two can be greatly impacted by the frames that you get. One of my favorite frames to get for the Steel Path Orowyrm is actually Mirage. I have a pretty decent build to kill enemies in both defense and extermination with the globe, so I think that's one of the best. It's hard to tell enough about the frames because there's a lot that are really viable and a lot that are just not worth it. For it to go right now, I think one of the most viable options would be probably Garuda, because I don't have the other ones built as well as I would wish to. And so for just a go-to, maybe Garuda with a Breed Surge, which I know it's a build I have, would be decent, but it would probably not allow me to go under the 20 minutes unless I get good missions on the Undercraft, unless I get like a Void Flood and who knows, an Exterminate or a Void Flood, and defense would be okay. That's what I think about it. If you happen to get the Kullervo bounty stage, I think that can be a problem. But now, will it? Yeah, I think it can also be the lone story anytime. Yeah, it'll be the last one. If you get to fight Kullervo on the lone story, you might be on a bad one. That might be really unlucky. I haven't got him as an extra objective yet. Or that is another question. Can it appear on Steel Path? Not really sure. Not even sure. But if it does, that is a significant loss of time, because on Steel Path, he's tough. He's tough AF. So that is another thing to consider. But I still think it's worth it. In the time that you're gonna make your four Steel Path bounties, you'll get 60 battle clamps. You would have to complete 6 normal modes to achieve the same. If you can get that timer around the 20 minutes, I think it's worth it. It's a reasonable time. If you could make it even faster, it would be perfect, but it is really around the 15, anything between the 15s to 20 minutes, the steel path, if you get a decent loadout. So that's what I think of it. After trying it more and more, but the more I play it, the more I feel like it is so important to get the right stuff, to get a good frame and a good weapon. Having a frame that with a loadout that has a buff, something like Eclipse, it is super important for the last phase. I feel like any weapon that I take, if it doesn't have a damage buff, it will just feel really bad. Really, really bad. Yeah, that's really my second take on this. That's really... It is... I still think it is a bit unrewarding when you compare the difficulty increase. But if you can do it under a certain time that you estimate, like... for me, I think under the 20 minutes is fine. But if you can complete on something around that, I think you should be good. Leave a like, subscribe. Peace.